Hey son, how's it going? You're not jacking off, are you? It's fine if you're jacking off. I just want to know if you're jacking off. Dad, I want you to read me a story. Well, son, you go lay down. I'm going to tell you a story that my father told me and his father told him. This story is called, I can't remember the name here. I believe it was, Hot and Cold. Alright, sonny boy, what do you say we get, right into the news here? You heard about this place from a friend. Lord knows how they knew you were into this kind of stuff, but you decided to go give it a look to see just what, for curiosity's sake. In fact, you did a little research and heard only good things about this place, so your hopes were moderately high. As you walk down an abandoned back street, you can help but wonder if what you saw on those shady internet forums is true. Do they really give you a free trial? Is it possible for a dragon to be that hot? Your thoughts get pushed to the back of your mind as you finally spot the place in question. It's a relatively big, shady-looking warehouse with a neon sign proudly displaying the name Chilling Sensations. Oh, how quaint. As you near, you also see in smaller lettering underneath, for nights and feelings you will not forget. You braver yourself and open the door and are greeted by a warmth and a peculiar scent that directs the warmth all to one place. This must be your first time here, eh? You're snapped out of your sudden daydreams by a tall, buff shark morph who smiles knowingly at you as you nod and fail to disguise the obvious tint in your pants. Don't worry, it happens to pretty much everyone in their first time here. Just as you're about to protest your innocence, a tall figure appears from the door behind the counter. It's a tall, red, black-furred dragon with short horns just above his ears and longer, fluffier white fur around his neck. He's also not wearing anything. Your eyes immediately dart to his crotch, betraying you. He looks to have a regular humanoid penis that's the same shade of black as his belly. He smiles at you, looking straight in the eyes as he talks to you, as he talks like the shark. He said this was his first time. The shark just smiles and nods, and the dragon makes his way over to you. You try your hardest to look him in the eyes, but the nigh is impossible. He is hot. He's got a delicious toned body that is making you sweat just look at it. There's something about that smile that is just setting fireworks off in your head. He walks right up to you. He's about 6 inches taller than you are. That's a tall old boy. Smiles down at you, leans forward and looks you right in the eyes, his snout to your nose. So you try very, very hard to stay calm, but in the end up making sort of a half scared, half turned on squeaking sound instead. He moves his head so that his mouth is at your ear and nibbles on your earlobe gently. You can do nothing but gasp as he whispers in your ear. Well then, why don't I introduce myself? You nod rapidly, agreeing with him 110%. He moves back and grins at you. Good. He then proceeds to pick you up, bridal style, and takes you back through the door he came through. You just hear the shark that shout, "Enjoy your trial," before the door is closed behind you. This is getting toasty. You're taken into a hallway with about 10 doors. He takes you to the end of the hallway and pushes the door open with his foot, depositing you on one end of a plush-sized, king-size bed. The room is plain. It's a dark green color, and there's nothing in it but the bed and another dragon? This one is white and blue. He's about the same height as the red dragon, but with fantastic white hair and an icy-looking crest on his brow. He also has wings on his arms, from his wrist down to his armpits. He's also not wearing anything. He, however, has scales and a sheath, making you all the more curious as to what's down there. Before your mind can go too far, the red dragon tips your head up, looks in your eyes again. He actually has quite pretty color amber eyes, but all you can think is that the fact is you're in a room alone with two incredibly attractive naked dragons. My name's Cole, and this is Wooldor. Will be your entertainment for tonight. He gives you a smile so smoky you're pretty sure a fire's gone off in his mouth. If you were standing up, you'd have fallen to your knees. Wooldor makes his way over to you and they begin to undress you, taking off your shirt, your pants, which are beginning to get painfully tight, and finally your underwear, exposing your erection. Really got him worked up, Cole. They both get on their knees in front of you. Yeah, have that effect. And with that, they begin to work your shaft with their hands and tongues. You can't help but moan and squirm. The texture of their tongues, the skimpy texture of Woldor's hands, and the fuzzy texture of Cole's hands all work together. All work together to create one of the most wonderful sensations you have ever felt. You know you're not going to last long as your breathing gets shallower and your eyes roll back in your head, and soon you unload onto their waiting faces with their open mouths. You come hard and messily, more so than you have in a long time. You collapse back onto your bed, your senses completely overridden by pleasure. However, you're quickly brought back into the world of the one most conscious by the feeling of Cole, Rule, and Wooldor getting onto bed. You open your eyes to see them towering over you, giving you a lovely view of their semi-erect penises. Wooldor offers you a hand up and you get on your knees, facing them on the bed. Cole hands you a small bottle of lube, making their intentions very clear. You swallow and feel yourself. You begin to feel yourself harden again at the mere thought of what these two are going to do to you. You quickly get to work, flipping open the cap on the bottom, drizzling generous amounts of lube on both their cocks. Cole gasps slightly, but Wooldor seems unaffected. It seems to be flavored and or scented, but there's no time for reading as the bottle is quickly discarded for the task at hand. You begin to stroke their penises, Cole's in your left hand, Wooldor's in your right, and relishing the feeling of them hardening, throbbing in your hands. The lube is cool, and you slowly begin to pump, really getting a feel for their girth and size of them. Cole is huge. Guess he's about 9 inches long and about as thick as a soft drink can. Wooldor's cock is slightly smaller, but much more interesting. It's rigid and rather exotic. The tip is pointed, and there are soft, flexible spines at the bottom of it. All in all, you're really beginning to get excited for what they have in store for you, and stop when they feel they're suitably lubed up. Cole grins at you, moving behind you, whilst Wooldor moves in front of you. Cole pushes you on your back and gently up on all fours. Wooldor positions himself in front of you, and you gasp as you feel Cole's fingers entering you. He's fetched the lube and is preparing you nicely, using his large fingers to get deep inside you. 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3. Feeling you've been loosened sufficiently, Cole positions himself behind you. Wooldor grabs the finger. Wooldor grabs the back of your head gently and eases the tip of his shaft into your mouth. The lube was flavored pineapple. Cole then enters you and you forget all about the flavor of the lube. The feeling of Cole stretching you open is a little painful, but as he sinks deeper inside you, it is quickly overwhelmed by pleasure. Wooldor also eases himself into your mouth, and they both start slowly, drawing back, then thrusting in with the same rhythm. The feeling of being spit roasted is really turning you on, and you already feel as though you're on the edge. They begin to speed up, encouraged by your moaning and squirming. Soon they're both moving fast and hard, Cole's balls hitting yours with every thrust. They begin to grunt too, nearly at climax. However, Just as you're about to come, they both pull out, gasping. You look up at Waldor, a look of betrayal and lust etched in your face. He just smiles and nods, mouthing, "Just wait," as he lays down and beckons you to come lay on top of him. Your eyes go wide as with lust as you realize that they're planning. You shuffle forward on hands and knees until you're at the right place, and Waldor timidly enters you. You moan at this strange combination of the bridges and spines, a wholly pleasant feeling. You then feel Cole's thick member come to rest on your back, and you begin to mentally ready yourself for what's coming. You try your hardest to stay loose, and feel Cole begin to enter you, him, and Waldor all gasp in unison as Cole slips inside you a lot easier than you thought he would, then politely wait for you to adjust to the stretching, which is mildly painful but mostly pleasurable. When you feel as though the pain has subsided enough, you nod and they both begin to slide inside you slowly. Your eyes roll back into your head and you nearly collapse on top of Waldor. The pleasure is incredible. You're so full, so hot, sandwiched between two muscled, sweaty dragons. They fall into a rhythm quickly, thrusting into you at the same time, picking up where they left off. It's an amazing experience, a moment of empty agony, feeling like a small piece of your soul is missing, followed by amazing pleasure and complete utter fullness. You're all so close, your breathing becomes even more erratic as they speed up. You feel Cole's hands around your member, and that's all you need to push over the edge. Coming all over Waldor. Going all over Waldor and are quickly followed by the pair. They both bury themselves deep inside you and come. You feel ropes after hot ropes of it painting your insides, escaping your stuffed asshole or their thick cocks. You sit there and bask in the fullness, and after a long while they pull out, and they feel what was plugged in escape your loose hole. You collapse onto the bed, and they both lay down beside you, arms draped over you. "We hope we convince you that our services are worth paying for," Cole says quietly. You nod dumbly, still bathing in the afterglow. That was one hell of a trial. Well, son, it's time for you to go to bed. Well, good night, son. And just remember, praise Jesus.